Hello everyone, welcome to MS Veterinary Center. I've just arrived at one of my farmers' farms and I've found this goat in this status. You see now the way it is pedaling, and then you see the way it is moving its head, but I've just found out that it is poisoning due to cassava leaves after environmental examination, and now one could even make a differential diagnosis. For example, based on pedaling, one could suspect heart water based on pedaling, but it is not. It is cassava leaf poisoning due to cyanide acid. So farmers know that cassava leaves are a problem to our goats, and you need to be so careful, because once they take them in excess, there is a poison which is an anti-nutritional content which can be absorbed, and this is none other than cyanide. That is the acid which is inside those cassava leaves. So excess brings about such issues, and when I did post-mortem on it, that is what I found from the stomach chambers. The stomach chamber was filled with these cassava leaves. As you see how I'm removing them from there, they had even blocked part of the intestine. So it is advisable to stop or to give them, but in a limited quantity, and it's better to remove that acid, the cyanide. It's better you first dry the cassava leaves, then you leave them to cool before giving them to what? To these goats. But if you do not do that, then you will get such problems. So that has been the post-mortem as you're seeing it. So these other parts, these organs like the kidney is very normal. The same applies to the liver and then the lungs, and even the intestines are okay. The flesh is very okay. So it is only the stomach chamber which has been blocked, and then the acid, the cyanide acid, which has been absorbed into the bloodstream, that has brought about the death of this goat. You know, by the time I arrived at the farm, the situation had gone worse, and many of the goats were still undergoing the same, but only that for them they were at least in a better condition. So we tried out on them, and at least for them they survived the death. So here I call upon my farmers that if you're giving some of these feeds, especially these leaves of cassava and even the peelings of cassava, it is not advisable to give them in a large quantity, because for example the peelings, when they dry and you give them, then they will cause bloat and eventually death. So avoid them. If you can't avoid them, then ensure that you give a very limited quantity which cannot bring about problems. It is very important to tell the herdsmen of the good and the poisonous pastures, so as to avoid poisoning due to poisonous pastures. Thank you for watching and loving MS Veterinary Services. We are here to guide you on how to manage your animals.